We're putting a cam chain tensioner back on. We need to torque that to 4.2 Newton meters. Make sure you use a new gasket. 4.2 Newton meters is not very much. We've got our 2 dowels in now, and we're going to go ahead and slip a new gasket on. Green side down. Next we're going to put the cylinder on. So what we need to do is we need to put some new motor oil on the piston skirt and on the rings. And then we also need to put some new motor oil on the inside of the cylinder. That will help lubricate it on startup, and it'll keep everything moving freely. On the installation instructions here, number 1, wash it with hot soapy water and then dry. I'm not putting water or soap anywhere near this. I'm going to use a little bit of brake clean on a lint-free rag. I personally don't think that that's right. In my experience, water and soap don't go into engines, so I'm not going to do it. Again, brake clean on a lint-free rag for me. You are making so much noise, little puppy. Yeah. Okay, it is now time to put the cylinder on. So, very carefully, I'm going to start the cylinder onto the studs. And then we need to guide the piston up inside. Okay, now at this point, do not try and jam it down there because you're going to break stuff. You need to compress the piston rings with your fingers to get the piston to slide up inside the cylinder. Okay, now I had to cheat a little bit, and I used a screwdriver to push one of the rings in a little bit, but it'll be fine. Now you also want to remember, as you're putting the gasket in, and as you're putting the new cylinder on, that you push your cam chain up through there. You don't want to crush that. Okay, now make sure that new cylinder goes through your gasket nicely. Line up your dowels. And then a little bit of wiggling, and you should be able to seat that home. And there we have our new cylinder and our new piston installed. Now you might notice you've got some extra oil up here at the top, just from when you wiped the oil on the cylinder and the piston. You can just go ahead and wipe that off. You don't want excessive amounts of oil on top of this piston because it's going to burn it off the first time you start it. A little bit isn't going to hurt anything. This engine is going to smoke a little bit, both externally and internally, when you first start it up. Externally because there's machining fluid and oil and motor oil on the outside of it. There's new paint on the outside of it. And then it'll smoke a little bit on the inside because of all the oil you're transferring around, you know, from your hands and parts and things. So a little bit of smoke will be normal when you start this. You just want to avoid big pools of it like in the valve pockets here.